Oh yeah. Hope I hope everyone's doing alright. I had a comment recently about midfakes, and there's one thing in this world that I hate: it's hard midfake. I thought they're fine, I guess. I don't know. I know some people have some decent opinions about them. I, for one, am not one of those people. Especially if I need to be able to define the difference between them rather frequently. But yeah, someone was asking about them. Thought I'd give them a bit of a demo about what I have to deal with. Alright. This one's honestly a much easier one to decipher between the two. I'm sure you can figure that out. If not, could be the distance thing. I'll bring this closer for you guys. There we are. Do you guys see the difference? It's fairly clear. Diablo is one of the easier ones to tell apart. It's usually the mold variation. If it's got slicker lines. Excuse me. Slicker, straighter, better mold that you can use for these is the mold codes. A lot of midfakes don't have them, but also, here we go. Some of them do, so to throw you off, I'll zoom in there. If you can see that. The top one is the real one. Bottom one is the midfake. You can see the font is different too. Mold numbers themselves, I'm not very knowledgeable on, but yeah, that's another thing. And let's see, for bolts too, a definer is to see if they have a code in there. Actually, this might be a midfake. Oh shoot! Is there really no code in this thing? I think this is a midfake bolt. This one you can see, kind of. Oh wait, no, this one's fine. It has the letter Q in there. That's what. This one is fine too. There's some mold in there. Sometimes it's like very bad. The variations I got recently. I don't think you can see anything in there, especially the side. Maybe, but yeah, it should be like evidently clear. I think these are real. They might not be. The elbow's also a bit weird in that sense. There's A2, but yeah, if it's missing like a sparkle or shine to the energy ring, that usually is a definer too. What else? Oh yes, a big one is the core. Let's bring your guys back. So you can see here we have a real core, and here we have a midfake core. I'll let you guys try to figure out what the difference is between these two. Hope you can spot it. I have it kind of directionally shown to you guys, so that's very evident to see. Let me take this one away. I'll bring in another midfake. Maybe you can see pattern or more midfakes, so you can see the patterns between these and this one up here. Do you see it? So, it's a bit hard to tell sometimes, especially if you don't have a real one lying around. But this is the real ring, good mold. Pop up. It slides in perfectly. However, these do not slide in perfectly. It's due to the midfake mold's holes being larger than the gaps in this one. The usual one is like much smaller. That's there. I don't think these guys have. Oh, they do have codes, but that's a good tell for these guys. As for the last part, and these are kind of hard to tell, I'd say. Codes are usually like around this one right here, as you can see it right here. But some of these can have Phillips screws or triangle screws. Some, I think, Diablo, for in this case, uses triangles usually. If you see Phillips, it's not a real one. I think the Delta Drive is one that does use Phillips. They did mix and mash sometime. I don't know why. They didn't just keep it consistent. Tri-wings are usually a good sign though. Mold codes for these guys are located on the bottom sometimes, usually, right next to the place where you insert it for spin track. And mold codes on here are shown earlier. Typical ones. They're on the same location too, I think. I think this one's a bit faint. This one's covered in Sharpie, but you can see it, right? Yeah, it's right there. It's double A one. Performance tips and tracks are kind of harder to tell. Sometimes it's a bit more clear, like a WD here. You can see the A4. Look for mold code. Mold codes are pretty important. Sonocons got their whole like thing with some of them being bad quality prints. I don't really know what's going on there. Yeah, that was some midfake talk. Diablo is much easier to tell. Some of them are harder to do. It pisses me off sometimes. I spent so much time on Honesty like the other day. It was god awful. But yeah, I hope that helped. If you want me to go through some other ones, I can. I do have more of them lying around. Tails are there. Yeah, they're evident. They're just lying around. You just gotta look for them and then cross-reference your sources. And maybe go ask some Beyblade servers. They tend to be pretty knowledgeable about these things. Especially the people who have to deal with these on a similar basis.